Moomoo isn't exactly a new name among the brokers in Singapore. It first launched here in 2021 and has since grown to over 1 million users, which is pretty impressive for a platform that's only been around for a few years. But now it's 2025. With so many new brokers entering the market, all promising low fees, cool features, and lots of welcome promos, you might be asking, does Moomoo still stand out in the crowded market today? So I decided to revisit the platform to see how it stacks up. In this review, I'll go over a brief recap of the company, some of its product offerings, the fees, how it compares to other brokers in the market, the features, what stood out, what's new, what's still kind of lacking, and my overall experience using the app over the last few years, as well as some welcome promos at the end of the video that you can take advantage of. Just FYI, Beansprout is an affiliate partner with Moomoo, so if you do choose to sign up through our link, we'll receive a small fee at no extra cost to you. But this video is not sponsored. It's just my take on the platform, having used it for the last few years. All right, let's get started. If you've been investing for a while, you're probably already familiar with Moomoo. Even if you haven't used their platform, chances are you've seen their ads, especially during the early days when they were aggressively marketing across Singapore. Moomoo officially entered the Singapore market in March 2021. It was one of the first stops in Asia for the platform. Moomoo is owned by a parent company called Futu Holdings, which is a tech-driven brokerage firm headquartered in Hong Kong and was founded by an ex-Tencent executive. Futu Holdings is currently listed on the Nasdaq, which lends the platform some credibility. Aside from that, you might be thinking, sure, it's listed on the Nasdaq, but is it safe and is it legit? In Singapore, Moomoo operates under Moomoo Financial Singapore and is licensed by the MAS. It holds a capital market services license. It also holds a major payment institution license and an exempt financial advisor license. So yes, we can consider Moomoo as a safe and legit platform in Singapore. Since it launched in March 2021, Moomoo has seen rapid growth in Singapore. In fact, in July 2025, it hit 1.5 million users in Singapore. Moomoo is also present in the US, Hong Kong, Australia, and Malaysia. Recently, I interviewed Gavin Chia, the CEO of Moomoo Singapore, on his thoughts about the platform's growth here. If you're interested to check out that video, I'll link it in the description. Let's move on to what you can actually invest in on Moomoo. For me, the two main markets that I focus on is Singapore stocks and US stocks, which Moomoo covers both of them. That includes ETFs. So if you're looking at the usual names like the S&P 500 ETFs, such as SPY and VOO, you can find them on the Moomoo platform as well. Beyond that, Moomoo also offers access to Hong Kong stocks, China A shares, and Japan stocks as well. On the US side, one feature that I find particularly useful is fractional share trading. This means you don't have to buy the full lot of the stock, you can just buy a fraction of it. So even if a single share of, say, Apple or Meta costs a bit much for you to invest in at the moment, you can still buy a fraction of it. So you don't have to even spend thousands of dollars buying a share. You can buy it at just maybe $10 or $100. And Moomoo doesn't just offer trading its stocks, you can also buy unit trusts and money market funds through the platform. For example, you can invest in one of the popular money market funds such as the Fullerton SGD Cash Fund through Moomoo Cash Plus. Recently, Moomoo also launched Income Plus, which offers bond funds. This is something I think worth paying attention to, especially now when yields on short-term cash products are coming down. If I want a potentially higher yield on my cash, I can explore the short-term bond funds offered on Income Plus. For those trading more actively, Moomoo also supports options trading and futures trading. Now, if you're investing in Singapore-listed stocks, one important thing to note is that Moomoo uses a custodian account, so you can't link your CDP account to Moomoo. This means that when you buy Singapore stocks through Moomoo, the shares are held under the broker's nominee account, not in your CDP account. Usually, brokers that offer custodian accounts tend to have lower trading costs, but it also means that you won't have direct legal title to your shares as you would in your CDP account. If CDP holdings is a must-have for you, you would need to go with a traditional broker, and those usually come with higher fees. From my perspective, the custodian account works fine for my purposes. It keeps my trading costs low, and I can access other markets like the US all through one platform on Moomoo. But it's a personal decision. It will depend on your investment style and your comfort level with the platform. Another limitation worth mentioning is that Moomoo doesn't offer trading on the London Stock Exchange. So popular Irish domicile ETFs like the CSPX, which tracks the S&P 500, but has a lower withholding tax than the US domicile ETFs, are not available on this platform. Now that we've covered the product offerings, let's talk about the fees, because for most of us, this is one of the first things we compare when choosing a broker. For Singapore stocks, Moomoo offers 1-year commission-free trading for new users. After the first year, the commission fee and platform fee comes up to 0.06% of the trade value, with a minimum of $1.98 per trade, plus the usual SGX fees, which are the same no matter which broker you use. For US stocks, there is no commission charged. However, there is a 99 cents platform fee per trade, and you will also need to factor in the currency conversion costs when converting from Singapore dollars to US dollars. So how does this compare with other low-cost brokers? As you can see from this table, Moomoo's fees for Singapore stocks is slightly higher than Longbridge, which is at 0.03% with a minimum of 99 cents. And for US stocks, they're also higher than Webull, which charges 0.025% with a minimum of 50 cents. If we are purely looking at numbers, Moomoo isn't the absolute cheapest for Singapore stocks and US stocks. But for me, fees are only part of the decision. That's because it doesn't matter if I'm trading a small amount or a large amount, the fee stays the same. And beyond the numbers, I found Moomoo's interface and features very user-friendly when I first signed up, which made it easy for me to continue using the app for my US stock trades. And that brings me to my next point, which is the features and app experience. I'll talk a little bit about my experience using the app, and this is where I think Moomoo really sets itself apart among other brokers in Singapore. I've been using Moomoo since 2022, and honestly, the app interface is one of the most intuitive ones I've tried. For me, that's important because it makes it easy for me to log in, check prices, and act quickly when I need to. I use Moomoo quite frequently to track Singapore and US stock prices, and I also use it to monitor the dividend and earnings announcements through their dividend and earnings calendars. For beginners, one of the biggest strong points I see for Moomoo is how much it has built out its educational resources and community in Singapore over the past few years. Their Learn section was something I relied on heavily when I first started. They have guides, they have tutorials, they have market explainers. All of these resources are not just to help you understand how to use the app, but also to help you invest more confidently. Now let's talk about some of the trading features available on Moomoo. First, like I mentioned earlier, there is fractional share trading for US stocks. So if I want exposure to big names like Apple or Tesla, but don't want to commit thousands of dollars buying 100 lots of these shares, I can still build my position over time, which is great for beginners with not a lot of capital. This is great if you don't want to stay up till 4 a.m. Singapore time monitoring the US stock market. You can place your trades in the daytime here and still catch opportunities. There is also free level 2 market data for US stocks. So if you're actively trading or if you would like to place your orders at a more favorable price, having that depth of market data can be really useful. Moomoo also has an earnings calendar and free investment reports, so I can get market updates, key insights, and research on stocks without having to leave the app. On the cash management side, there is Cash Plus, which allows me to park my idle cash into a money market fund to earn daily interest. And if I want to buy stocks, that money can be transferred almost instantly. For those who like to dollar cost average, you can also set up an automatic RSP or regular savings plans to invest a little at a time into the stocks of your choice. And one of the more recent additions is Moomoo AI, which is basically an AI chatbot inside Moomoo, where you can ask it questions about stocks or the market and get instant updates about the companies that you're watching, as well as market updates, without having to dig around for that information within the app or go somewhere else to search for the information. Of course, no platform is perfect. There are two things that still feel lacking for me. Number one, like I mentioned earlier, there is no CDP linkage for your Singapore stocks if you prefer to have direct ownership of your stocks. And the second thing, like I mentioned earlier, there's no access to the London Stock Exchange. And for markets like Hong Kong, the commission fees are slightly higher. But overall, the combination of these features, its educational tools, and its user-friendly interface is what kept me using Moomoo over these years, especially for my US trades. Now, if you're thinking of signing up for Moomoo, I have some good news because we have some welcome rewards that you can take advantage of. If you sign up through Beansprout, you can get a $50 fair price voucher on top of Moomoo's welcome rewards. All you have to do is go to our website, which is linked in the description, and sign up for a Moomoo account through our link. In the Moomoo app, search for special deposit and enter the promo code BeanSproutS1 before funding your account. Then just fund at least 2,000 Singapore dollars and submit your contact information through the Google form on our website to claim your $50 voucher. Right now, Moomoo is also offering new users free NVIDIA fractional shares and trading coupons with total rewards worth up to 1,100 Singapore dollars depending on your deposit tier. So if you're planning to open an account, it might be worth taking advantage of the Beansprout promo as well as the Moomoo promo. I'll leave all the links and details in the description so you can check out the full terms and see which deposit tier works for you. So is Moomoo still worth considering in 2025? For me, the answer is yes, especially if you're a beginner just starting out and you're looking for a platform that's competitive on fees, full of useful features, and is easy to use whether you're a beginner or a more active trader. I've stayed with Moomoo over the years for my US stock trades, not just because of the pricing, but because the app experience, educational resources, and trading tools just fit well with how I invest. If you're planning to open an account, don't forget to sign up through our link to enjoy the Beansprout rewards as well as the Moomoo welcome rewards. I'll leave all the links and details in the description so you can check it out there. Thanks for watching. If you found this review helpful, do give the video a like, subscribe for more investing content, and let me know in the comments which other platforms you'd like me to review next. I'll see you in the next one.